I'll never forget the question that was asked by a woman I follow. Her name is Ayana. And she says, in whose imagination are we living in? And she said when she realized that we were living in the white man's imagination, everything changed for her. And that has stuck with me. And I think when I saw that TikTok, it's been almost 2 years. And the reason why it stuck with me is because in this imagination made by white men, they imagined that they were a group worthy to be called queen, king, prince, princess. And the only thing that keeps this going is our belief and acceptance of it. They also came up with this thing called a government, right? Where a select group have the majority of the power, and then they would get other people using armed forces to enforce that power. And we all went, okay. Like there was like we collectively said, okay, we will allow a group of people to call themselves our king, our queen, our prince, and our princess. And we all just said, okay. And then we allowed the same group to say they're forming governments to protect us and take care of us. And even when the governments don't do that, we all still say, okay. Like it's all a game. And the game continues because we collectively have bought into the game. What happens if we all just pick up our toys and said, we're done with the game? If we all woke up one day and go, this game of working to make one group rich and the rest of us poor, that don't make sense. Nobody's working anymore. Now somebody goes, well, what happens? Well, if nobody's working, there's nobody to process the foreclosure on your house because they're not working. There's nobody at the power plant to turn your electricity off because they're not working. There's nobody at the telecommunications to turn your phone off because they're not working. There's nobody at the water plants to turn your water off because they're not working. There's nobody to enforce groceries not being because they're not working. Like this game persists of the have-nots, the rich and the poor, the aristocrats and the peasants, because the rest of us got born into a game and none of us said, why are we still playing this game? Why are we still playing the game? And then it dawned on me, the reason why we play the game is because the way the game is set up, it is designed to give people more money in the game, more access in the game. And so those people keep playing the game to enjoy the money and the access without realizing that if they stop playing the game, everybody can have access to the money and the resources. But the bigger game that has been played on us is the mental one, the psychological one that keeps us tied into a game that's not serving any of us. The psychological game that keeps white folks keeping black folks out of industry and money and resources, and then black folks keeping gay folks out of money, industry, and resources. Like we're all just playing the trickle-down game of hoarding power, wielding power. Although intellectually and collectively we know the game only benefits a small fraction, but yet we still play the game. And that's why I said religion was the ultimate tool for this game. Because religion has to condition you that some savior is coming to get you, so you never look at being the savior for yourself and your neighbors and the people around you. We have been conditioned out of that human connection called empathy. They have to strip that away first. That's the first rule of the game. Strip them of empathy. Because if they have empathy, they're going to care about what happens to their neighbor. And it won't matter to them what color that neighbor is, how old that neighbor is, what gender that neighbor is. So we got to strip them from that first. And then replace that with social programming and conditioning. But y'all, it's all a game. It's all a game. And I think the more people get access to empathy, the more people will realize it's a game. And then they won't want to play anymore. But as long as empathy is removed from you, you will always believe this is a game worth playing. But it's all a game. It's all a game. And if you ever truly got a hold of empathy, you'd realize it's a game and it's not serving but a few. And you will stop playing the game.